So behind me is the Sammlung Schack, the collection Schack. What's in there, I will show you now. There are some pictures of the Neue Pinakothek, which is closed at the moment due to renovations, and of course other pictures. So if you're interested in painting of the 19th century, I think that little museum is for you. So join me and we'll see what's inside.
The Schack collection dates back to the art patron Count Adolf Friedrich von Schack, who came to love and appreciate art in Munich in the second half of the 19th century. He mainly collected artists of its time in order to support the Munich art scene. By the time of his death in 1894, the Count had acquired around 200 paintings by German artists and 700 copies of old masters. He bequeathed his villa, the old Schack Gallery, and his paintings to the emperor. However, Emperor Wilhelm II felt that the villa was too small for a museum, so he had a new building constructed for the Schack Gallery on Prinzregentenstraße, today's Schack Collection. The Count's old villa on Brienner Straße was lost during the war. The Schack Collection includes a room with copies of old masters by Tizian, Raphael and Peter Paul Rubens, among others. Schack could not afford the originals, but he wanted to bring art to Munich to inspire artists here. The copies were made by young Munich artists who later often achieved world fame themselves, such as Franz von Lehmbach and Anselm Feuerbach. Lehmbach in particular became wealthy as he was the portrait painter of the German Empire in the 19th century. He painted them all: Bismarck, the Emperor and the entire who's who. The collection is mainly influenced by German classicism and idealism. Many painters were particularly taken with the Italian landscape. Pictures from history, fairy tales and legends are also represented here and reflect German Romanticism. There's also a painting of the Erlkönig by Arnold Böcklin. Wer reitet so spät durch Nacht und Wind? Es ist der Vater mit seinem Kind. This line from the German poet Johann Wolfgang von Goethe causes nightmares for every former German schoolchild. Everyone had to learn it by heart at school. The sources of the nightmares can also be found here. In this painting by Josef Karl Stieler, Goethe is holding a poem by the Bavarian King Ludwig I in his hand. Whether the poem caused Goethe nightmares is unknown, but one can be sure that he could only smile mildly at the king's amateurish attempts. Perhaps Ludwig wrote this poem in a wine tavern in Rome, as depicted here. There's also a picture of Ludwig's favorite architect Leo von Klenze, the Acropolis at Athens. Ludwig wanted to work with Klenze to turn Munich into a new Athens on the Isar. Normally, the last two pictures can be found in the Neue Pinakothek, but that museum is closed for renovations until at least 2029. One room is dedicated to Karl Spitzweg. The Biedermeier painter is still one of the most popular and most expensive painters today. He is often less well known abroad, but his humorous caricature-like paintings are easily accessible. One of his most famous paintings also hangs here, The Poor Poet. In it, the poor poet sits in his bed and writes one poem after another. He can hardly make a living from it. An umbrella covers the roof, and written poems are already in the stove as fuel for cold days. If you want to visit the Schack collection, it is open from Wednesday to Sunday and costs €4 for a regular ticket. If that's still too expensive for you, you can visit it on Sunday. As it is a state museum, admission then costs only €1. If you enjoyed the tour of this small museum, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you would like me to show you the Athens on the Isar, here's my homepage and my email address for a guided tour of Munich. Until the next time, Philipp.